Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Bandai Tamashii Nations S.H.Figuarts Eternals figure unboxing and review video. Now today we are taking a look at none other than Sersi. Now if you've been following along with these Eternals reviews, we've already taken a look at Icarus, and I do have the Marvel Legends wave coming as well, so definitely stay tuned for a lot more Eternals content. If you are looking to pick up Sersi, she is available from toyswonderland.com. Link for that is of course down in the description below. They have 12-month installment plans and an awesome reward system. What we are going to do now though is get the box laying flat in the light box and do the unboxing. Here of course we have the box art, and it's eerily similar to what we saw from Icarus. We've got an open window showcasing Sersi herself, a little silhouette image of her in her green color scheme, an image on the side, and a bunch more product shots on the back showcasing various poses. Now I personally am not sure if this is going to be my Sersi in the display. I've heard some very good things about the Marvel Legends release, but then again, I've heard some good things about this one as well. So yeah, I can't wait to see how they stack up alongside one another. But here we have her. First in-hand impressions are very similar to what I thought of Icarus. Yeah, it looks like it's supposed to. Now we will unpack that a little bit more in just a second. What we are going to do now though is get all of Sersi's accessories laid out in the light box and take a closer look at everything she comes with. Here we have all the parts and pieces. Now starting off with the head sculpts first, honestly, they are pretty much exactly the same. The only difference is the eyes are whited out on this one. Also, on my main head sculpt, the packaging kind of smooshed her nose down. Luckily, on the alternate one, her nose is fully complete and intact, but that's kind of frustrating because 9 times out of 10, this is the one I would have gone with. Is it a perfect likeness? No, I don't think it is, but it's definitely close. I can tell who it's supposed to be. You also have some fully sculpted hair out the back, and there is a ton of textured and sculpted in detail. I love the way this looks. So yeah, I'm pretty happy so far. Now she does come with 2 effect pieces, or I guess it's kind of meant to be 1. I personally think they should have done this slightly differently. Now obviously this is a wooden plank that she's turned into ice or glass perhaps, and that's why it's the exact same sculpt, but I would have liked a combination of the two. Brown on one end and clear on the other, kind of like she's in the process of changing it. Because now if she's holding it, she's kind of just holding one or the other. You don't really get a sense of her powers. Now she does come with a full array of hands, and I love the gestures. They are unique and they are perfect for Sersi. They're also cast in that kind of semi-translucent plastic, so they look slightly more realistic. What we are going to do now though is get Sersi herself out here and take a closer look. Here we have her standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything like that. And yeah, for the most part, it does what it says in the tin. It's a Figuarts version of Sersi. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, it's a very well proportioned, quite well sculpted figure, but then when it comes to surface detail, it is a little bit lacking. As of late, for some reason, Figuarts have gone very smooth and very plasticky with their releases. There isn't a ton of texture here. There isn't a ton of painted on surface detail. It's overall very simplistic when it comes to the sculpt. But for the most part, it still looks like Sersi, and the parts that are painted are done very well. What we are going to do now though is take her off the rotating turntable, punch in, and take a closer look at the details. Here we have her up close and personal, and in just a second we will switch out the head sculpt to take a look at the second option on the body. But for now, yeah, I'm pretty happy. Is this figure 100% perfect? No, I really don't think it is. S.H.Figuarts can kind of be a little bit hit and miss when it comes to movie releases, and we already spoke about how I feel about the head sculpts. I don't think they're perfect. The outfit, though, is awesome. I love the way it looks. However, all of those things I complained about with Icarus can literally be copy and pasted onto Sersi. Let's talk about the bad stuff first, and then we can be a little bit more positive as we move on to the second head sculpt. The outfit is very plasticky. In the film, there was texture, there was movement, there was a pattern specifically on the green parts. But here, they didn't even try to capture that. It's pretty much entirely smooth. And hey, maybe you like that look. I personally kinda do. It looks badass. But it isn't accurate to the movie, so I do understand. At the very least, all of the silver panel lining details and her little logo up the top are very crisp and clean. And this time, they've added a bunch of shading. You've got some grey, you've got some lighter green, and you've got some yellows all blended in seamlessly. So yeah, I actually do prefer the look of Sersi's outfit in Figuarts format even over Icarus. This figure looks like, as far as I'm aware, the best of the bunch so far, but we still have Kingo to go, so I'll have to wait and see which of the three is my favourite. But for the most part, yeah, I'm fairly happy. What we are going to do now, though, is take a look at that second head sculpt. Here we have it on the body. Now, honestly, because the head sculpt itself is identical except for the powerful whited out eyes, it doesn't really change the look all that much. Now, as I said in the accessory segment, this to me kinda reminds me of when she would talk to Arishem. I don't know if that's what they were going for, but yeah, it works. I can't honestly say that I'll be using this in my display, but if you wanted to, here's what it looks like on the figure. Now for a quick side-by-side comparison, here we have the previously reviewed Figuarts Icarus alongside Sersi. As you can see, Icarus is ever so slightly taller, but I'm pretty sure he was even more so in the movie. Maybe I'm misremembering, you'll have to let me know, but as you can see, they look fairly good together. Maybe this is one of those situations where individually, yes, they're lacking surface details, they're lacking texture in the suits, but when you start to bring the line together, they are greater than the sum of their parts. Because for me, I'm already starting to love how these two look together, and I cannot wait to complete the set. Next up, here we have the Figuarts Shang-Chi, and as you can see, he's actually slightly shorter than Sersi. I don't know if Simu is actually shorter than Gemma-chan in real life, you'll have to let me know down below, but either way, if you pose them right, you won't really notice it anyway. The height difference is relatively negligible, and unlike Hot Toys, who always severely underscales their female characters, at the very least, Bandai is giving them a little bit more love. Just going over articulation. Now bear in mind, this is my personal copy of the figure, so I'm going to be a little bit more careful. I'm sure when you get yours in hand, you can push the joints slightly further than I'm willing to go. Now, starting off with the head sculpt, it is on a ball joint at the base of the head and at the base of the neck. So going forward to there, going back to there, just because all of the sculpted hair, yes, it does get in the way of articulation. Swivel and pivot side to side. The arms will go up to there, but you do want to make sure you tuck this shoulder pad up into that joint. It does go forward and back. There is a butterfly at the shoulder. There isn't any swivel up here, but if you bend the elbow, that's where you get all of your swivel. And of course, a regular Figuarts style wrist peg. The torso does have two ball joints, one up the top that does get you a fairly significant range in pretty much all directions, and another down below, which gets you pretty much nothing. Now, because of the rubbery plastic skirts, the legs will go forward to there, they will go out to there. There's a little bit of swivel up the top, a double bend at the knee. You also have a hinge and swivel down here for the ankle, and lastly, some toe articulation. Just wrapping up on the Figuarts Sersi from the Eternals. Now, going into this, I already knew what to expect. I've reviewed Icarus, and most of the stuff that I said about him rang true here as well. There isn't a ton of sculpted in surface detail. It's a very plasticky figure. For those who aren't after that, well, this isn't for you. I'd almost even say that the Marvel Legends one has more going on. Yes, the painted on lines are crisper here and the detail in terms of the gradient looks fantastic. I also think that the head sculpt is quite good. But the Marvel Legends one has all of that metallic marbleized plastic, there's swirling throughout, and it looks like how the suits looked like on film, where this one is just completely smooth. Sometimes I think I'm being too harsh on these Figuarts releases, but then I check the comments and most of y'all actually agree with what I've said, so I don't know. It's going to be up to you to decide whether or not this is something you'd like to add to your collection. For what it's worth, I do think having 3 Eternals from Figuarts is a pretty darn impressive display. They are absolutely better than the sum of their parts. Now, if you are looking to get this, I got mine from toyswonderland.com. Link for that is down in the description below. They have 12-month installment plans and an awesome reward system. While you're down there, check out the link to 6 Scale Network, the Facebook group. Come along, chat figures, share photos of your collection, and of course, see what's coming up next on the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.